As the Monty Python troupe used to say, and now for something completely different, a main event of a completely different stripe, the arrival in RWL of John Bradshaw Layfield, set to go one-on-one against Mad Dog Mark Mckay.
I was shocked when they told me JBL was coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's Rage main event is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Approaching the ring, making his RWL debut this evening, from Sweetwater, Texas, weighing 305 pounds, John Bradshaw Layfield.
Well, here's a gentleman with a whole lot of question marks surrounding his arrival in RWL. John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL, the self-professed wrestling god, making his first appearance as part of RWL's Legends division. John Bradshaw Layfield, of course, extremely famous from his WWE days, and later on as a financial advisor, and he's done appearances on national news programs and the like. JBL, back in the ring tonight, facing Mad Dog Mark Mckay, and that's a first-time encounter for a main event if ever there was one.
There's a lot of us here that think that JBL is not just here to compete, not just to wrestle for some reason. Call us paranoid, call us tinfoil hat-wearing conspiracy theorists. But for some reason, we got a feeling JBL is here for a purpose.
And if that's true, especially if that's true, Myron, we'd best not discuss any of that on air for now. You know, a little discretion.
Sorry, I got a little carried away.
And here comes the man who's been lighting up RWL Rage for the past 6 months, Mad Dog Mark Mckay, accompanied by the mysterious Miss Morse X.
I honestly don't think this was a hot idea for Mckay to sign this one.
His opponent accompanied by Miss Morse X, from Ithaca, New York, weighing 205 pounds, Mad Dog Mark Mckay.
He has certainly become quite a draw, hot off an unfortunate loss, but a cruiserweight title match with Gary Galaxy is nothing to sneeze at. Mad Dog Mark Mckay certainly moving on up in the ranks around here, and I don't think it's going to be very long before Mad Dog Mark Mckay competes for gold again. And once more, Miss Morse X, the mysterious Miss Morse X. More theories advanced as to who she might be, none of which I'll discuss here, but there are definitely rumors of flying.
Now, Don, I think I know who she is, but I won't say. There's a lot of crazy theories around, but some of them don't sound too Alex Jones. Some of them actually got some credence.
Well, so far, they've deflected all questions on that, very politely but firmly. I don't want to see my dude get violent, so maybe this is something else we shouldn't be gossiping about.
You know, Christy, sometimes you're no fun at all.
Well, Myron Christie, this is indeed a rare and unusual main event. JBL making his RWL debut. I still don't believe it. Referee Walt Rothburn rings the bell. The men come to the ring. Whoa, look at this. JBL takes him down with a running shoulder tackle. Mad Dog Mark Mckay catches a stomp to the midsection. JBL driving all his weight into the lower back of Mad Dog Mark Mckay. JBL with a snap suplex right in front of Miss Morse X certainly looks concerned. Mckay rounded up over the shoulder, hung up over the top rope by JBL. JBL immediately going to work most aggressively on Mad Dog Mark Mckay. Outweighs him by 100 pounds. Look at this. Running shoulder tackle, running power slam. JBL with a series of rights and lefts. And he's got Mckay reeling, whipped to the ropes. JBL ducks under, gets a hold of Mckay. Mckay says, no you don't. A knee to the midsection and a series of shots as Mad Dog Mckay endeavors to battle back here against John Bradshaw Layfield. Slammed down by JBL. Quick cover center ring. One, but only a one. Mad Dog Mark Mckay still far too fresh as he rolls out to the ring looking for a breather. He's not going to get one here. JBL all the way up on the top turnbuckle as the referee counts. Oh, double X handle from 10 feet up. right across the head of Mad Dog Mark Mckay. JBL winds up, drops the elbow across the back of Mckay. JBL drives another elbow into the midsection of Mckay. John Bradshaw Layfield catching a jawbreaker counter. Mckay shoved back by JBL, shoved back a second time, and driven headfirst into the ring post. John Bradshaw Layfield absolutely letting loose on Mad Dog Mark Mckay in this main event. Wow. And now beating the head of Mad Dog Mark Mckay against the floor as the referee continues to count. Mckay countering with elbows to JBL, successfully backing him off. JBL grabs a hold of him again, rolls him back into the ring finally. John Bradshaw Layfield makes his way back inside the ring, goes after Mckay at once, whips him into the far corner. Oh man, a running splash. Up over the shoulder one more time with JBL slam. Beautiful scoop slam from JBL. Mad Dog Mark Mckay. Indeed looking like he is having more than his share of trouble. A knee driven into the head by JBL. Mad Dog Mark Mckay needs to get fire in here or he's in trouble. JBL up on the top turnbuckle, elbow drop across the chest of Mckay. And JBL certainly in control of this matchup from the word go. The middle rope, another elbow drop that fails to find the mark as Mad Dog Mark Mckay evades. A clothesline from Mckay. A second. And a third. Mad Dog Mark Mckay coming alive here. JBL into the far corner. Mad Dog Mark Mckay with a sharp chop across the chest. JBL trying to get back to his feet, rolls up to his feet, opens up with a series of shots, has Mckay up in the front cradle. Fall away slam from JBL. JBL catches an elbow from Mckay. Mckay with a hard whip into poor Walt Rothburn. Thank goodness he wasn't hurt. A running kick from John Bradshaw Layfield. Another Mad Dog Mark Mckay trying to battle back here, but apparently all in vain. John Bradshaw Layfield refusing to yield any control. And now a series of pistoling right hands to the head of Mad Dog Mark Mckay. Miss Morse X has yet to become involved in this match, I suppose, to her credit. A huge, whoa, here we go. JBL opening up with a series of elbow drops across the chest of Mad Dog Mark Mckay. And of course, this Sweetwater, Texas native has a lot of fans here in the arena. JBL covers. 1, 2. But only a near fall again. Mad Dog Mark Mckay averting disaster here. Now a little game of musical chairs between these two. Mckay busted open by JBL. A jawbreaker from Mckay. Mad Dog Mark Mckay with JBL up against the ropes. Oh, look at this. All pretense of politeness gone. He's just exposed that turnbuckle all by himself with no help at all. And here we go. Look at this. A driving knee that takes JBL out to the floor. Mad Dog Mark Mckay not fooling around here. John Bradshaw Layfield to a standing position, and oh, well, the diving punch fails to connect. JBL goes behind on Mckay. Has him up over the shoulders. Deposits him head first into the lip of the apron. Miss Morse X looking justifiably concerned. Mad Dog Mark Mckay at a huge disadvantage in this matchup against JBL. JBL dives with the elbow, but Mckay rolls out of the way. Beautifully done. Mad Dog Mark Mckay, full of surprises. These two just hurt both of themselves. Well, here we go. It's a slugfest. And Mad Dog Mark Mckay certainly not afraid to get his hands dirty, not afraid to mix it up even with the likes of JBL. JBL breaking it up. The clubbing overhand right to the back of Mad Dog Mark Mckay. John Bradshaw Layfield firing it up here. Mckay against the ropes. John Bradshaw Layfield. Choking. Mad Dog Mark Mckay with the rope. Gets a hold of him again. Up over the shoulder. JBL deposits him head first into the turnbuckle. Mckay assisted out of the ring with an alley-oop by JBL. JBL gathers Mckay up again. And look at this, a counter from Mckay. Gets a shot in, a kick to the midsection of JBL, and a falling neckbreaker from Mad Dog Mark Mckay, who has succeeded in temporarily stopping JBL. Here we go. Oh, beautifully done. Mad Dog Mark Mckay setting it up here beautifully. Here's a cover. 1, 2, and whoa! JBL. With all that ring savvy reaching out for the bottom rope, Mckay has to start all over again. Misses with the elbow. JBL back up on his feet. Gets a hold of Mckay. Whips him to the rope. Clothesline from hell. That's gotta be it. Here's a cover. 1, 2, 3. Forget about it.
The time was 7 minutes and 41 seconds. Your winner, John Bradshaw Layfield.
JBL making with the Texas Longhorns. Well, a win's a win, but I kind of feel bad for Mad Dog Mark Mckay. He was definitely outweighed by JBL, and JBL was he's absolutely ruthless, this guy.
I feel kinda bad for Mr. Mad Dog, too. It was kinda unfair of you to set JBL against Mckay in his first match here. I mean, I'm sure you thought of that beforehand, right?
I thought of it, of course I did, but JBL being what he is, he had to be in this main event. It is what it is. I feel badly, but I'm sure Mckay is going to come back and get even at some point. He's just got to.
Vicious debut from JBL tonight.
All right, fans, that puts the cap on this week's edition of RWL Rage. As always, thank all of you for following and supporting RWL as you do. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We appreciate you. Coming up next, RWL Ladies Night, Burning Dollhouse Special Edition as the Sweet Revenge Summer Tour continues. For all of us here at RWL, I've been Don Hickson saying thank you, good night, and we'll see you next time at ringside. Good night, everybody.